What's going on, you disemboweled diakas of divorce, or maybe dismembered diakas of divorce?
Well, things like that have been known to happen.
It does happen. Yeah. Welcome to Grunt Speak, not so
live. Hey, a shout out. Somebody sent me this mead. It's mixed with elderberry. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Is it delicious?
It's delicious. Tastes like liquid sunshine.
And elderberry this time of year, quite good for your sinuses.
Yes. Thank you very much. This is going in the stockpile.
Hell yeah. And from the same stockpile, we received a not handwritten, but a typed letter. And the guy says that we are more than welcome to use it on the show, so we're just going to have to omit certain details, or should I say, but it's a hell of a story, and I figured, why the hell not share it with you guys today?
Yeah, let's keep his identity out of it, and
yes.
Let's read it and give him some advice, or at least respond.
Take out the Post-it, slap that right there, change it up for the next but, because I'm sure we're going to have a few. Hello, Mr. Popp. I've been a viewer of yours for a couple years now, and though I can't say that you saved my life, I hope you can help me save my children's. I have the utmost respect for the work that you are doing for men. Your work is underrated. I'll keep this letter short and to the point. It's 2 pages. Still pretty good, though. I'm a single father, 32, of 2 boys aged 5 and 6. I was married to the children's mother for 6 years, though we had been together since 2007, so they were married from 2013 to 2018. Essentially, it ended when her lies got so bad that she no longer cared to hide them and even got so bold as to respond, "We're married and have children. What are you going to do about it?" when I called out her infidelity.
Mm-hmm. Well, he sounds to me like he stayed on his frame like I did. And when you get to a certain point, it's done. And you're just going to have to file for divorce and then, ride the wave in.
That's just nuts.
Well, the thing is with me, and I'm sure with him, you get to a point of no return. All right, and that's where the blue pill simps and the red pill guys separate. The blue pills stick around for yet more punishment and to be a money sponge or the provider. Yeah, it's not good.
No, not good. And, I mean, it kind of drives the nail in the coffin of male privilege, doesn't it? When a woman in today's day and age can be so brazen about her infidelity to where when you call her out on it, well, we're married and I got your children. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Because they know they've got you as a Western male over the barrel.
No, it's worse than over the barrel.
Well, I mean, over the barrel is how it starts. You get cornholed 40 or 50 times. Where's my attorney? Oh, my God. And then it just goes on from there.
Well, that you get, bent over the barrel, and then when it's all over, you walk away with your nuts slammed in your mouth. It's bad. I mean, literally, the divorce industry is designed to destroy your masculinity.
Yep.
Turn you into a helpless simp slave for the system. Plain and simple.
That's exactly it. But you go on and keep, talking about how you're marginalized and oppressed, ladies.
Yeah, go ahead.
We totally believe you, but we also think you're full of shit. What do we got here next? She found out very quickly when I rented my own place and returned her to her parents like you would with any broken product to the store where you purchased it from.
Amen! Listen, I mean, that's what you got to do.
Woo, that's awesome. Obviously, there's more to the story from having been together for such a long time. I was no saint either, but my conscience doesn't bother me. However, for the sake of time, this was the final nail in the coffin of our marriage. Mm-hmm. The divorce was actually settled fairly smoothly where no attorneys were involved.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
I wasn't either, but wait till you see why. We were both poor because she had pissed away our savings, lied about her student loan debt, and forced us into the sale of our house because she stopped paying the mortgage to pay her student loans without my knowledge, while hiding foreclosure notices from me. I found the final notice.
All right, now hang on. I did VA loans for half the country, and I can tell you this right now. I heard this exact same story probably 200 or 300 times in my career.
You can see this This face right here I'm making.
Yeah, totally.
It's my shocked face.
And didn't we do a video in regards to when you were with a significant other and you were thinking about going, to the ultimate level? Fucking do it. Just an investigation. Look into their credit. I mean, get a PI to see what he could dig up and find out if this person is hiding stuff from you or lying to you.
Yeah.
If that's the case, that it's over right there.
Even left-wing rags online, missing link media sites like Market Watch, they will freely admit that there is a problem of women using men to pay off their student debt via marriage and then filing for divorce as soon as that debt is paid off.
The starter husbands.
Yeah, starter husband. You'll make a great first husband. Hee hee, ho ho, ha ha.
No, rot in the fucking pit of hell, bitch.
Suck a dick.
All right.
Well, I think we can both agree that's 1, 2, 3. Bullshit! Oh, I mentioned that 2 weeks ago. We already got 2 bullshit flags.
That's fucking awesome.
It's the best. You guys are awesome. We love you. No homo. Essentially, we had nothing left by the time we divorced. We agreed to 50-50 physical and legal custody, the boys, week on, week off transitions as of now. However, I was forced into paying child support even with having joint custody to the tune of $450 a month on a $30,000 a year income. Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, well, he's lucky it's that low.
Best interest of the child.
Because when I got divorced, they went off of a job that I didn't have anymore that didn't exist.
Yeah.
And they went off an income from 3 years prior. And they're like, oh, don't worry, you can adjust it in 2 years.
Fast forward to you living out of your car, eating off the dollar menu
literally,
at McDonald's.
yeah. I got fucked so hard.
Yeah, I had something similar not long after my dad died. I was applying for financial aid because, hey, I no longer have a father in the home. And at first it was, oh, we're so sorry to hear about your father. We're zeroing out his income because obviously he's not making any more.
Yep.
So it was the one silver lining that I had from when my dad died was, okay, now you get to have a free education, essentially, because obviously no one at home is going to be helping.
Well, you were able to qualify for the grants.
Yeah, I was qualifying for the grants. I was still working full-time, but it wasn't very much.
I was the same way.
Yeah. And not long after that, they decided that they needed to amend the rules to include a portion of a dead man's salary, which obviously none of that went toward hospital bills, funeral costs, any of that. And all that just went.
Wow. How do they justify a dead man's salary who's not working anymore?
They couldn't. Because I asked them specifically, I said, on what planet is this man going to still be making money this year?
Yeah, there should have been a lawsuit there. Because
it was ridiculous.
I mean, it sounds to me like that is some 3-shell Monty to take money away from you and give it to a diversity person.
You're probably correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was raised with a father in the home. He was taken away from me in a very particularly brutal manner. And then, but the people who never had a father at home and are always going to be leeches on society, whether they wind up in prison or on the streets, give them whatever they want.
Yeah.
No big deal.
What could happen?
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
But we went off in the weeds there for a second, so we're going to dive right back in. Everything seemed to be fairly smooth for a while as far as divorce goes. Every once in a while, she would get a hair up her ass roughly every 6 to 8 weeks and pull some petty stunt in an attempt to screw me over or gaslight me in some way. But for the most part, I just let it go for the sake of keeping the peace.
That's where he and I differ.
Yeah. Make sure, just because you're no longer married doesn't mean you have to put up with the shit.
That's right.
So, it sucks. Fast forward to early mid-2019, she starts attacking me through the children. At the time, mainly through my oldest, who was 3.
Wow.
Allegedly telling my oldest son things like, Daddy doesn't love you. I will take you from your father one day.
Wow.
As well as beginning to tell him that he is a girl, painting his nails, and even taught him to suck hot dogs.
Yeah, that was not going to work out.
Okay, we just crossed over from typical ex-wife shit to child abuse.
Child abuse and psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention
100%.
Marxist brainwashing.
Ooh.
She wants him to be a good little slave to the establishment. I learned all of this from my son through his tears over the course of a couple of months. Yeah, if he's 3 at the time, he's not going to be able to articulate
No?
in a way that's going to help you identify the problem. See,
But, the thing is he could have started off one hell of a CPS investigation against the mother, stating that the son is talking about all this sexual stuff. You don't know what's going on in their household. You can get CPS in there rather quickly, especially if they follow the administrative violence technique. And he does an additional 3 or 4 complaints from anonymous people, basically.
Yeah.
This is all having the same suspicion.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll turn it up to 11 right there.
Yeah. And you heard what I said about the reason, why this is so vile is because at such a young age, they can't articulate what's even happening to you in a way where you're going to be able to help. Why do you think they're so pissed about states like Florida preventing teachers from encouraging this shit under 3rd grade? That's why.
Yep.
It's disgusting. Wow. My son, who knows he is a boy and was never confused about that, he only perceived this as his mother being mean to him. Well, thank God for that.
Thank God for that.
I contacted his pediatrician about this, and she got me in touch with a child psychologist, which we took him to in order to sort everything out. Hindsight, I see now, and I believe I was being set up by what is considered a woke doctor and a woke child psychologist. Oh, shit.
Here we go.
Long story short, essentially, I was cut out of meetings while the mother was allowed to attend and was told that I was lying. Nobody was willing to look at the pictures, listen to the audio, or even believe what my son was saying.
And you're going to have to file a lawsuit against them. I mean, it's sexual discrimination. They listen to the mother, not the father. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See you in court, bitches.
Yeah, so when it doesn't go along with the establishment narrative, we can't believe children. They're too young. They don't know what they're saying. But when it encourages the depopulation gambit and makes them into permanent patients for big pharma, then you know what's best. Even if you're only 4 and you're still eating boogers and pissing vinegar, like what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. That's way too young.
You're pooping mustard at that age. I mean, come on.
Way too young.
I mean, shit. We had a guest on last week who was 22 years old. Yeah, you still stink like pee. These people,
they are
this
pee.
Kid was 3 years old. This is messed up.
Yeah, it is.
This is one of the lowest feelings I've ever experienced in my life, being unable to protect my son. Fortunately, it was either the fact that I was loud enough about the issue to scare her into stopping, or she realized it wasn't working and her bullshit died down for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. 2020, and the EIU
So
starts.
how old would the kids be in 2020?
Well, he says as of now, they are 5 and 6.
Okay.
So at the time, they would have been 3 and 4.
Okay.
COVID starts, so no crisis is ever wasted.
Yep.
My ex-wife goes full retard. Masks, extreme isolation, virtue signaling, the whole embodiment of the stereotype of a COVID-idiot. But only when it benefits her and pushes her agenda to weaponize the children against me. My poor children have done nothing for the past couple of years while under the mother's custody and refuses to allow them to do anything with friends or sports until they are vaccinated. Don't you mean murdered? To this very day.
Yep.
The only discussion we have had on the subject, she referred to Dr. Malone as propaganda, disinformation, and cited fact-checkers as her defense to disprove my opinion on the subject. Yes, because we know that the fact-checkers are always interested in fact.
You can find the actual evidence online. I mean, there's the
you can't
numbers
hide
are on the. You can't hide the numbers. You can't. I mean, it's all there.
Well, that's why Washington Post had to come out and admit that this is no longer a pandemic.
Well, it sounds to me like this guy, like my ex-wife tried a lot of the same shit, and I had her ass in court every 22 to 28 days for 2 years.
That's what this guy needs to do.
Yeah, literally every time I'd get some stupid shit, I would drive to Macomb County, fill out the paperwork, throw it in the mailbox, and we were in court, 2 to 3 weeks later.
Yep.
Every time.
Yep. Never, ever take this shit lying down, dudes. The system might be geared against you, but you can still weaponize it in the other direction. You just have to know how.
And this guy's, he needs to get some administrative violence teaching.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because he could rip her apart and then make her expend a lot of her money and time to fix the problems that he's, started by just getting her tangled up in the gears of different bureaucracies that exist in all Western nations.
Yeah. One commander cannot fight a war on 5 fronts.
It's very hard.
Yeah. Sooner or later, your resources deplete.
Yeah.
You become demoralized. It is what it is.
I just talked to a guy yesterday who has his soon-to-be ex-wife and her brother, who's a convicted felon, breaking into his apartment.
Lovely.
Yep.
We didn't have these people on the show, man. This is
Well,
fucked up.
I don't want to. I'm not giving any names
We get like a voice disguiser.
because he's still going through the whole thing. So
Well, anything we can do to help, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You just let us know. Her mind, like others, was made up when they told her what to think. I refuse to allow this to happen, and I am currently in a legal battle in Eaton County, Michigan, preventing her from being able to do this.
I believe we're sending him the link. This is the guy for the link with the administrative violence. We just
yeah.
sent it to him.
Oh, man. I perceive this as death for my children if she is successful. I don't think you're wrong.
Nope.
She filed paperwork in mid-August bringing action against me in order to get the court's approval to vaccinate the children without my consent. Hell to the fucking no.
That's right.
And the more the blowback from this keeps coming, the more the videos of 12-year-olds dropping dead of heart attacks keeps coming,
Yep.
the harder it's going to be to find judges on board with this shit because nobody's going to want that.
Look, I'm going to be
liability
honest.
later.
If this whole vax thing was taking place, you know, back when I got divorced and my ex decided to get my young kids vaccinated, one of them died, I would be dead.
Yeah.
Everyone involved in that whole process would be done.
It's not good, man.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't. I am at a loss why there isn't a barricaded gunman across the street from every family court in America.
Now, we're not suggesting that.
I'm just shocked it's not
just
happening.
A genuine musing.
Yeah. I'm just shocked it's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
We are currently in the friend of the court mediation stage.
All right,
Always
first of all-
a good time.
Yeah. Whatever friend of the court says, more than likely you're going to have to go against it in court. You're going to have to probably get expert witnesses. It's a whole cluster F of a problem.
Yep. Oh, wow. But they can make a recommendation, but they don't have the actual authority to make that decision.
They
Well, that's a
shouldn't.
plus.
But the thing is, a family court does it all the time.
I know they do.
They wipe their ass with the Constitution, and you can't do anything about it.
Well, one of the reasons why Roe v. Wade was overturned wasn't because we wanted to fight a war against women. If you really want to see a war against women, just look at what the woke-tards are doing with the winos, women in name only.
Yeah.
Because they legislated from the bench.
Yep.
That's why it was overturned. Judiciary is there to say, okay, this law is fine, this law is not. They're not there to legislate.
Yeah, and they do it all the time.
They do it all the time, and it's fucked up. Needs to stop. Our mediation date is December 14th. Okay, so 2 days.
Yeah.
So we could be getting an update for this very soon. My attorney and I have been able to drag this out. However, we know that it will end up going to the actual court. The court is known to have a record of blanket permission to anyone that seeks authority to vaccinate in regards to divorced parents. Unfortunately, this is not a rare situation from what I understand. However, I am fighting harder than most.
Yep.
As of the past year, she is heavily gaslighting me from the medical standpoint, laying the groundwork to attempt to soon remove my legal custody after this current legal battle, my attorney and I both believe.
And he needs to start off the CPS investigation for sexual things that were taking place. Because when the kid was 3, he's 5 now. He's still within the statute of limitations.
Yep.
Make that fucking happen, and I can guarantee you that a lot of this would shut down until they solve that problem.
Damn right.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer or a judge. I don't know exactly what's going to happen in the courtroom. I'm just saying
You know enough to know what'll get things.
how to attack angles to make things either more difficult or to see my victory at the end.
Yep. If she gets full custody, I fear that she will do more extreme things to the children, such as gender bending, hormone blockers, or whatever else.
Yes.
She is sick and abusive, but no one cares because those in authority are either on the side of her agenda or unable to do anything because it's not physical abuse and don't want to deal with it. Ever since she got a full-time position at Jackson National in the summer of 2021, she's making great money and has been using the disposable income to hire attorneys to throw legal action at me in order to impose her will.
All right. So she's already burning through her disposable income to do that. If you get her tangled up in some administrative violence, she's going to have to use those resources for other things.
Yep.
You can get her tied up with the tax man, by, writing anonymous letters saying she bought a bunch of crypto and she's got it hidden away. They'll crawl up her ass.
Damn right.
All right. If she drinks, the minute she comes out of a bar, call in a DWI. I already mentioned the CPS investigation. And then you can make all kinds of other accusations to her, sexual impropriety with, minors in the neighborhood, drugs. I mean, you can literally turn her life into a goddamn nightmare right here.
Yep.
And all by anonymous tips.
Yes.
Tips are not truth. Okay.
That's right.
Is it a crime? No. Is it unethical? Yes. But you're not an attorney, so ethics don't matter. And this is for the life of your two sons.
You're damn right.
I think ethics, they're out the fucking window. This is fucking all hands on deck. Damage control. Save the fucking platform right there.
And obviously the woman who is instigating this entire legal fight, who has no trouble whatsoever teaching her 3-year-old kid how to fellate hot dogs, ethics don't matter to her.
Correct. So guess what? This whole thing of keeping the peace, never do that again.
No. And I'm sorry, dude, that you slipped one by the goalie with a woman this evil.
Well, mine was
exactly
evil
what she
too.
is.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
And when my divorce was finalized, there was no more verbal communication. It was all text or email. And my policy was very simple. If it couldn't be printed on a printer or subpoenaed into court, it did not fucking happen.
There you go.
And there were 2 occasions where I got calls from cops because, my ex had made some reports. I don't know what was going on her end. And I'm like, I told the police, number 1, you're now calling me because we're friends. Number 2, this is my policy. Number 3, if you want to charge me, let me know. I'll turn myself in. But we are going to the wire in court.
Yep.
And I will fucking go after people's fucking careers.
There you go.
Because I hadn't done anything.
No. And they do this to men all the time.
Yep.
And somehow we're supposed to acknowledge our privilege. It's our privilege to have the legal system weaponized against us in order to enforce the best interests of the child, a term that has no legal definition.
And I've asked for those definitions. They don't have one.
Of course they don't.
Yeah.
Because then they would have to explain 85% of the people in prisons not having a father at home. And they don't want to have to explain.
Oh, and then you have the rapists and the drug dealers, the homeless.
Yep. Prisons, nut houses,
members.
cemeteries, and rehab facilities. There you go.
All day.
Yep, but they got to keep that income stream flowing at all those different places. So what better way to do that than to take the father out of the home?
Yep.
Put them all on the government TT. But I digress. All right. To this point, I have been able to defend, but it is not without cost and sacrifice on my end. This is the second legal motion in 1 year that I am being forced to defend against, and my attorney and I have no illusions that a third is on the way. It is simply lawfare to wear my finances, and she hopes to drag it out to get what she wants.
That's exactly what they're doing. And that's why you have to make her fight on more than one front.
Fight dirty.
Yeah, because if you fight in that controlled space, you're going to lose.
Yep.
Very seldom do you actually get a good outcome unless you have the money to do it.
Especially in Michigan.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's actually anywhere in the country, to be honest.
Well, I mean, in Michigan and in a few other specific states, fair and, fair ice cream socials where your waffle cones actually count, they're a thing of the past.
Yep.
So good luck. That's all I have to say about that. Mr. Popp, I wanted to purchase your administrative violence earlier this year, but could not afford it when it was available. I still cannot, but I have included a check to hopefully cover the cost for your time and receive a copy, since this is directly what I am facing.
Yeah, it's on its way.
It is. I'm now in a position where I cannot afford not to fight this, and I need all the help I can get. I appreciate the information that you, Blake, and others have provided over the years. Your influence in the manosphere is valued more than you know. If there's anyone else that I can contact who could help my fight, or other resources you can recommend to dig up information against my ex, I would appreciate all the help I can get. I would love to get through this and be able to add my children's names to your list of lives saved. Thank you for your time.
Well, you're going to have to get a private investigator, or maybe you have a close friend that'll help you out. But yeah, you're going to have to fight dirty. There is no honor here. I mean, this is a game for all the marbles.
Yep.
You cannot afford to lose this.
Yeah. Children are your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, somebody's trying to fuck with your legacy. It seems like figuratively and literally, because your ex is a vile piece of shit.
Yep.
So do whatever you have to do. I'm not encouraging anyone to engage in harmful behavior.
Nope.
Only to save the lives of these kids.
Correct.
Because that's what's important.
Listen,
And we used to all be able to agree on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Back in the day, protecting your kids, everyone was cool with that. And that meant keeping them away from predators, making sure they didn't get bad habits that would destroy their lives when they became adults.
Yep.
You're basically the person that hovers over your kids, monitoring what bumpers they hit on the pinball game of life to make sure they get to the right area where they can maximize points and stuff like that. Otherwise, they're done. They're going to hit the wrong thing, and you're going to lose them.
And once they're gone.
That's it.
Yeah.
Very seldom do they actually have the epiphany where they unfuck themselves.
Yeah. I mean, every father who has been separated from their children yearns for that day. They want the karma to come back and reward them for their patience, reward them for keeping the peace.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
So fight now, fight hard, fight dirty.
Here's another big lie. Oh, well, their childhood, they're minors, the age of minor. When they become the age of majority at 18, they'll come and they'll contact you and you guys. That is a fucking lie. So the attorneys can get you to take the deal so they can move on to the next divorce and fleece yet another motherfucker. Don't fall for that shit.
Damn right.
The minute your attorney says that shit to you, fire his ass on the spot and get another one. And to be honest, you should probably look for an attorney that doesn't do business in that county, that doesn't have to appear in front of these judges on the regular, because those are the attorneys that will fight for you.
You're damn
The
right.
ones that are always in front of particular judges, they don't want to make waves because, it'll affect their career in the future. No. I'm sorry. That is a no.
Very much a no. Mm-hmm. But you can always tell when we're on a subject that gets the man spun up. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you what, doing this week in and week out now for 10 years, stuff. You start to feel your pulse in your neck.
Yeah, you know stuff.
Yeah, you know stuff. And once you know this stuff, you can't unknow it.
That's right. I remember you were pissed at me a year and a half into our project.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fucking, this is bullshit. Why? No, I know stuff.
Now I know stuff. You've polluted my mind with facts and logic.
But listen, I wasn't trying to bring you into the cult. I was just showing you the actual damages.
What it really does is it just shows you that, well, like they say, history is written by the victors, and apparently the victors were always the good guys.
Correct.
Right? You're not always going to get the truth, and you're especially not going to get the truth as long as the government is involved in what they call education.
Correct.
If you want the information, you're going to have to go out there and get it yourself.
Amen.
And date women.
That's gay. Stop it.
I know. But thank you very much for watching, guys. And to the gentleman who wrote this letter, keep in touch, keep us posted, and let the games begin.
And listen, there are actual cases you can file in federal court over this horse shit. And I don't have the PDFs in front of me at this time, but it's out there.
Yeah. And use every weapon at your disposal.
And you know what? You want to save some money? Learn how to fill out the paperwork yourself. All right? Because attorneys, you have to pay for the filing fee, and then you pay for their time on top of that.
Hundreds of dollars an hour sometimes.
Yeah. Minimum is usually $300 an hour just to get access to your constitutional rights. Learn how to do the paperwork yourself, because you're in a war here. Yeah. This is a war of attrition. If she's not doing that, she's paying attorneys, she's at full burn. Mm-hmm. If you can fill out the paperwork yourself, you're probably saving 40%.
Yep. Your first goal with administrative violence is to burn through all of her disposable income and then start eating into her savings.
Correct.
Once that happens, then it gets too real, and it's not worth it to her anymore.
Yep.
So good luck and Godspeed.
Take it easy.